Hey, what's up? It's Rashad, hanging with the Joneses. Book of Boba Fett, Chapter 2, The Tribes of Tatooine. And this is a establishing episode. Kind of like episode 1, we kind of pick off right where we left off. And we are in the thick of him trying to basically get assassinated. And we're trying to figure out who did it. So the parkour assassin ninja basically tells him that the mayor put him up to it. So we go back into Maz Espa. We see that the mayor's there. The dude that represented the mayor from last episode is there, and just like any town that has a city hall, it's a bunch of bureaucracy. So that was funny to see. Like, man, you ain't. I don't see you having an appointment with us. So that was funny. And we go see the mayor. The mayor basically kills the ninja because he's not supposed to be operating out of hut space. Since Jabba is dead, this isn't hut space anymore, which is a very, very, very nice hint, clue, foreshadow to the next scene. So they give him some money for bringing in the the bouncy ninja, so to speak. And the dude was like, like I didn't do this, so you need to go back and check in the sanctuary from last episode, the little casino joint. So they go back to the casino, and they're in there talking to the owner, and all of a sudden you hear some thud. So the whole time, episode 1, they was talking about how like, we didn't hear you coming. So anytime somebody of power or who's a leader, they always have some sort of like a lot of pomp and circumstance when they come. So you hear the drums drumming, and then come around a corner, not one, but two huts called the Twins. And the twins are essentially trying to lay claim to their cousins, which was Jabba, to his territory. Almost forgot to mention, it's a nice touch when the Huts come in and they start to speak on Huttese, and the subtitles goes back to Return of the Jedi subtitling from that movie. So good touch, Robert Rodriguez. And we get a really really cool scene, them going back and forth, and then he was like, "Oh, you really think this is yours, huh?" And out comes this huge, not too docile looking Wookie. I mean, this Wookie looks jacked. And we have a standoff. Bo was like, man, you don't mean nothing. And it's just real funny how the um the the male hut kind of backs down like, man, we'll handle this another day. And this kind of leads us to him going back to the Bacta tank and essentially finishing his origin story as Tusken Raider on Fett. And there's a lot of imagery and symbolism, and of course, a lot of Western tropes that play. We have the outsider that ends up helping the tribe or the townspeople, sort of like the episode in The Mandalorian. So we kind of replay those tropes again in a very, very intricate way. Not intricate, but a very interesting way. Sorry. And we see Boba first helping them try to get down the train. So there's this train that crosses through the dunes, and they're just picking off people as they go along. And first, Boba's like, "Look, we can stop the train." So he goes and gets speeders, and goes to this little town, and there's these aliens there, and he just crushes all of them, takes their speeders, trains the Tusken Raiders on how to use them and strategize a plan, and then they actually go to the train. And this is really really good scene. It almost reminded me of the train episode of The Mandalorian, kind of like on steroids because the stakes are a little bit higher. and it's really good how they played it out. And the whole time I was thinking like, man, like there's a lot of Tusken Raiders dying in this scene, but you know they still end up overtaking the train, and the people who were on the train were basically running spice. So they tell them. So Boba tells them like, look, this isn't y'all land. Y'all running spice. Tell your people that in order for them to run spice here, they gotta basically, y'all gotta pay a fee. Y'all can't run through here free. If y'all pay the fee, we will protect you. So there's this very interesting aspects of commerce and how Boba is trying to ensure the livelihood of the Tusken Raiders as well as establish himself as a future crime lord all at the same time. So there's a lot of foreshadowing for how he got to where he is. Also the fact that he's trying to lead a lot differently than like the Hutts did, even though he straight up just murdered Bib Fortuna. But that's not here nor there. So after they go back, take over the train, the leader said, look, they have a little meeting. This is really a really weird scene where but the leader presents him like a lizard. He blows spice in his face, and then the lizard goes through his nose into his head. I don't know. And then like he goes on this little like hallucinogenic journey to find a tree. And he again sees his like a lot of his life in the pit back on what's the name of that planet? Basically back where he grew up, and also the him getting out of the pit and like this whole ordeal. So we then see him come back with the stick in his hand. They then go to their forger, and they make a gaffy stick for him. And then at the end, they have this like sort of traditional, I guess, ceremony for him having his stick made. So interesting episode. I know a lot of people were kind of down on the flashback stuff, but for me, like it's pretty cool because we get to see how Boba becomes this version of Boba Fett. You have to still flesh his story out because his story really hasn't been fleshed out like that, like at all. So it was very interesting to see how he has come up and kind of changed his ways from being as a straight Boba Fett bounty hunter to Boba Fett the leader, So that was really, really good to see. But yeah, that's all I got. Did you guys like this episode? Are you ready to move on? Are you upset that they teased us a really, really jacked Wookie and 2 Hutts and they left it? All right. Comment below. Till the next time.